In a village far away in Africa lived a very old woman named Nwakego. She was the oldest person anyone had ever known. No one in the village could remember a time Nwakego wasn't there. She has seen generation after generation, but she herself never seemed to age like others. Her hair had turned white and skin wrinkled, but she always had a strange energy about her, and no one knew how she stayed alive for so long. Nwakego was a witch, but she didn't practice any ordinary magic. She stayed alive by feeding on her own sons. She had 7 sons in total, but one by one she took their life and used their souls to keep herself alive. Every time one of her sons became successful, she would kill him and use his life to extend her own. Her first son, Obinna, was a very intelligent man. He was the first person in the whole village to go to the university. The entire village was proud of him. They saw him as a symbol of hope and a great example for others to follow. When Obinna finished university, he was offered a good job at an oil company. He was so excited and couldn't wait to return to the village to share the good news with his family. When Obinna arrived back in the village, there was a huge celebration. People came from far and near to congratulate him. They danced, sang songs, and even made a feast in his honor. Everyone was happy, but his mother, Nwakego, was not thinking about her son's success. Instead, she was thinking about how she could use his life to stay alive longer. That night, after the celebration was over, Obinna went to bed, but Nwakego did not sleep. She went to her shrine, where she practiced her witchcraft. Under the cover of darkness, she called on her evil powers. By the morning, Obinna was dead. The village mourned his sudden death, thinking it was a terrible tragedy, but no one knew that his mother was the one who killed him. Nwakego pretended to be heartbroken, crying with the villagers, but in her heart she was pleased. She had just added more years to her life. The village continued to grieve, and they even held a big funeral for Obinna. Nwakego's second son, Emeka, was a successful businessman in the city. Emeka met a very beautiful woman and they fell in love. He decided to bring her to the village to meet his family and to introduce her to his mother. Emeka believed that his mother would be proud of him and happy to meet his future wife. But unfortunately, he met his end when he arrived in the village. The village was filled with surprise. 2 of Nwakego's sons had died under strange circumstances, but no one had any proof that she was involved. The people continued to fear her, so they stayed quiet. Nwakego continued with her dark deed, killing her sons one by one as they became successful. The same thing happened to her third son, Nnamdi, who had become a teacher in a nearby village. Ikechukwu, her fourth son, was a soldier who had fought in many battles, but even his strength could not protect him from his mother's evil. She killed him just like others. Chukwudi, who was a talented artist, and Ifeanyi, who had become a doctor. No matter what path her sons took, Nwakego always found a way to end their lives and use them to extend her own. But Nwakego's last son, Nnanna, was different. From the day he was born, the village spiritual leaders said he was chosen by the gods to become the next king of the village. Nnanna had a strange mark on his neck, a mark that was said to protect him from evil. The spiritual leaders told his mother that Nnanna was blessed by the gods and that no harm could come to him as long as he bore the mark. Nwakego knew about the mark, and she knew that it would be difficult for her to kill Nnanna, but she was determined to try. After all, she had already killed 6 of her children. Why should Nnanna be different? As Nnanna grew older, he became a strong and a wise young man. The villagers loved him, and they were excited for the day when he would become king. Nwakego, however, was growing weaker. She had extended her life for many years by feeding on her sons, but now her powers were fading. She needed to take Nnanna's life to stay alive. But every time Nwakego tried to harm Nnanna, the mark on his neck protected him. She tried using her magic to weaken him, but it didn't work. She tried poisoning his food, but the mark shaded him from the poison. Nwakego was growing desperate. One night, she went to her shrine and performed a powerful ritual. She called on all the dark spirits she knew, but even they could not break the protection of the gods. Nwakego realized that there was no way for her to kill Nnanna. He was truly blessed, and there was nothing she could do to stop it. Unable to kill her last son, Nwakego began to weaken further. Without a new soul to feed on, her body started to fail. Desperate, she began to eat her own flesh, hoping to stay alive. She would cut small pieces from her arms and legs, using her dark magic to heal the wounds. But the more she did this, the weaker she became. Meanwhile, the village was preparing for Nnanna's coronation. The old king had died, and Nnanna was to be crowned as the new ruler. The day of the coronation arrived, and the whole village gathered in the square to witness the event. Nwakego, who was now too weak to stand, was carried to the ceremony. Her once powerful body was now thin, and her skin hung loosely from her bones. As Nnanna was crowned king, the villagers turned to Nwakego. Her secret was out. She had killed her sons, but she could not kill Nnanna. Now her dark deeds had caught up with her. In front of the entire village, Nwakego began to scream. Her body twisted as the magic she had used for so long finally consumed her. She fell to the ground. Her body turned to dust as the villagers watched in horror. By the time Nnanna's coronation was over, Nwakego was gone.